The final piece we need for our cookie clicker to work is the ability to purchase and use auto clickers. So I'm coming over here. What I'm talking about then is this button down here that says buy an auto clicker. How do I actually buy an auto clicker? Okay, so I need to know a few things. First of all, I could just say, well, what happens if I buy an auto clicker? Some different things that should happen. Number one, my auto clickers go up by one. Number two, my CPS goes up by whatever amount the auto clickers are. For me, I'm going to make that one. Um, and then the part that I haven't talked about yet then is the cost. What should the cost of my auto clickers be? In other words, I can't just buy them for free. And will my cost change the more I own? That's how the cookie clicker game happens. And it goes up by some, percentage. So that the more I buy, the more expensive they are to buy the next one. That's what makes the game difficult. So, that's kind of some things here that then we look up here and we say, okay, I know the number of cookies I have. I know the number of cookies per second I have. What else do I need to have in my variables? So how many auto clickers do I own? So I start with 0 autos. How about the autos cost? That has to be something that gets set. So what do I say? At the beginning it costs 10. So let's see, we might have to add something else, but let's start with that. So now that I have these notes, I'll say, okay, seems to be like, oh, I thought of one thing. Oh, the yawning has started. I apologize. Um, that if my cost goes up, like if it costs something, then my number of cookies has to go down. Cookies goes down because, we can't just sell them for free. So let's see. So autos is going to change, my CPS is going to change, my cost is going to change, which I called auto cost, and my cookies are going to change, right? So let's see. I started this whole thing saying if I buy one. So do I buy one automatically if I click on the button? Well, no, they cost a certain amount, right? So first, if my cookies are greater or equal to my auto cost. Otherwise, I can't afford it. And now some of this is the easy stuff. That goes up. That goes up. My cookies are going to go down by the cost, which means the only real trick is making the cost go up. Finally, one other thing should happen. You know, Not that that's too hard, but we'll just save that. I'm going to have to update everything, aren't I? Because my cookies have changed, my cookies per second have changed, my auto clickers have changed, and my cost has changed. So basically, every label needs to change whenever I buy something. So I'm going to have to start taking care of those. Maybe I'll use this as my sample. So my cookie label tech is definitely changing. What else is definitely changing? My CPS label is changing. And now it's cookies per second is the string of CPS. And my auto label is changing. So here I had said auto clickers was 0, but now auto clickers equals autos. And finally, My auto cost is changing. Hey, now should say cost, auto cost. All right, so all those things have changed. So, does it work? First of all, they all start at 0, which means my cost probably should. I said it was going to be 10 in my code, so let's see if it works. See, I'm at 9 or 8. Can I buy one? Huh. Well, I can't, but at least it updated that, so I'm going to have to fix that. But it's not working yet. It's not working yet. 10. Aha. My cookies per second has gone up. My cookies went down to 0, but now they're building again because I'm getting 1 cookies per second. Because my clicker, I now have 1 clicker. And my cost is still the same. Ooh, I'm able to afford another one. Now I can start the process because now my cookies are starting to get high. And if your cost didn't go up, what would happen is I could almost buy, like if I can get this up to 10, then it would be like basically infinite cookies because my cookies per second, so I could basically almost click on this thing as fast as I could and my auto clickers would go up, right? And the game would get just a matter of ridiculousness. It's just not even fun anymore. I'm clicking and I'm just getting so many cookies per second that I can't even spend them all anymore, right? So obviously I could just sit here all day and do that, but I should probably make my cost go up so that it's a little bit trickier than that. And the only question is, how do you do this? So the cost, first of all, it's not just cost, it's auto cost. And that cost is going to be the old cost, and then we want it to go up some percentage. So if I said multiply it by 0.5, well, that would mean it goes down in half. But if I multiply it by 1.5, it would go up by 1/2 the amount. So that means the second one I bought would be, if it started at 10, the second one would be 15, right? Down here, I should probably tell the cost of my auto clickers to be 10. These, I could have put the variables in each of these, but I just thought it would be easier because put my starting values in there before I update the screen. Okay, so here I go. I first have to buy 10 cookies. Now, oh man, my cost went up by 15, so now it's 25. So boy, that's expensive. I'm gonna have to click for a while before I can get another one. Oh, 62.5, that's a lot of money. How am I gonna ever get there? Notice what's happening now. The zeros, the 0.5s. So maybe I don't want to do that quite right. Because if I start getting fractions, it's going to be weird. But what if I said, oh no, just give me the integer of what that is. That keeps everything on a nice integer level, right? So I buy a lot of cookies. I buy my auto clicker. My cost is 25. Now my cost is 62. And because it keeps on going up by so much, it's keeping me busy clicking before I can afford my next one. 155, ain't nobody got time for that. So then we just have to stop. Now, some things that you could do is that you could add more than one kind of item. The cookie clicker game, you buy grandmothers who can cook, 2 cookies per second. And then you can buy farms which can cook, can grow 10 cookies per second, and such, so on and so forth. And the costs of each of them becomes higher and higher. And of course, there's a whole lot of other things, but this is where it started out. It was just one thing at a time, and you can add more and more as you think about it. You could also maybe add some graphics to this to make it more interesting.